So we're at the Missouri River Valley Steam Engine Association Summer Show. This year they're happening to be featuring the National Summer Oliver Show with the Hart-Parr Oliver Cockshut Association. I'm at the Missouri Oliver Family Collectors Building. That's one of the brand buildings here on the Steam Association's grounds. About all of the major brands have a building here: John Deere, Case, Alice, all of them. But this year features Oliver's, so the National Summer Show, we're going to do a walkthrough of some of the tractors here. Earlier this morning, I think I counted somewhere around 160, and there's still several tractors rolling in, but we'll take a walk through and show you what's here. Starting off right here underneath the awning, there's 3 tractors that belong to the West family. We've got this first Oliver here, row crop, Hart-Parr, and it's all on steel. We've got the plow for the radiator shield there. That's a really hard piece to find. And then we have the Hart-Parr 1224, and then an industrial 66. Go around the edge of the building and we'll catch a few tractors before we go up into the rows of them here. Real nice row crop 66. Got an Oliver cleat track here, an HG, and it's got a little plow here. This was a rooster comb plow is what the gentleman told me, and it was given the name rooster comb because if you look right there, this gear that adjusts it, if you flipped it upside down, it looks a whole lot like a rooster comb. So pretty neat little plow there. And then we'll go through the building real fast here. There's some more people on their way to fill up some of this space, but a real nice collection of pedal tractors here. And then the pride of the show this year is the XO 121. This was an experimental tractor Oliver did in conjunction with a few other companies. It's a high compression engine, 12-to-1, hence the name. X is for experimental, O is for Oliver. It was made on the frame of Fleetline 88. There's your little history about the tractor if you want to read about it. There was 3 of those engines built and 1 tractor, and they never really went into production. It was all for experiment. The tractor is called Ahead of Tomorrow. There's some YouTube videos on that, really nice. So we'll go out front here and start going through some of the rows.
No, thank you.
Got a few plows there. Really nice Oliver turnover plow. That's kind of neat. Couple drills back there. Got a row crop 66, a row crop 70, painted up for America. That's real nice. Several of these tractors are from a collector here in Missouri. Jerry Lukey, he's from Bland, and he's got some really beautiful tractors. A lot of rare tractors, a lot of the big muscle tractors as well. So got one of the local radio stations here doing some interviews. This is a Oliver 770 Orchard. That's one of Jerry's. He has 2 of them. This one that's all restored, and then one that's all original. Don't know for sure, but we believe, talking to him, there was about 10 of those tractors that was all that was ever made, and they were all shipped to Florida to one orchard, and he happens to own 2 of them. This one that's restored, as well as another one up in the rows that's all original. We got a LP Super 88 here, a 990 Cockshut. That's Don Nicodemus. It's got the Detroit in it. Really nice tractor. You see that one at lots of shows here. Sharp tractor. If you know anything about those Detroits, they called Screaming Jimmies, and you need earmuffs to run them. So this white 508 plow and this 19T here, if you're familiar with the Delco FFA restoration program that they do, this tractor is one of those. A young kid here in Missouri redid this tractor, and it's actually a 5.9 Cummins, so it's a repower. but just a super nice tractor. And that M5 Moline behind it, if my memory serves me correct, his brother did that through the same program the year previous. White 255, 3150 cat in it. Big nice tractor, fuel tanks. So I don't think you'll be able to see it, but the Delco program is such a cool program. They archive everything from start to finish. There's several companies that sponsor the program and help the kids out a little bit, but there's a lot of rules and guidelines that the kids follow to get in the program, and it's a nationwide program competition. Just super cool program, encouraging some of these kids to keep some of the old iron alive. This is the 59 Moline M5. Seth was a young man that did that. And again, I know you're not going to be able to see much of this, but pretty cool. And yeah, no, Seth's name is actually on both of those, so he actually must have restored them both. I was thinking it was him and his brother. But super cool. So we'll go up now and get in some of the rows of tractors. Again, going to be a pretty long video. I think there's 160 tractors here, so I still see some coming in on trailers now. 4150 white. This tractor was brought here by the same gentleman that just had the 2255 white with the cat in it. Articulator. He's got a lot of the history on it. Apparently, I didn't read it all, but I believe this tractor went through a tornado or something of the lines. So yeah, a tornado went through the farm, blew out a bunch of windows, tore the tractor up a little bit, but you sure couldn't tell it now. That's one shiny gray white. Corvus Oliver's here with a lot of parts, as well as some other vendors. Got an 1855 gas Oliver here. This one happens to be for sale if you're looking. Got the 2-speed, another 1850. That's a pretty original, honest tractor right there. Diesel on it. 2-speed. Does have some updated lights. Got some LEDs so you can see after night a little bit better. 550 cockshut. We've got several 550s at the show. There's 3 sitting here all together. This one and this one's owned by the same person. Got the red and the green one. All 3 of these happen to be gas. Got a row crop 77 there. Oliver 1828, and a little bit of useless history for you. You'll see here, this was after Oliver and Hart Parr combined. Oliver kind of bought Hart Parr out, I guess. That was one of the mergers of many over the years, but this would have been one of the later ones, because the early ones, this was flip-flop. The Hart Parr was large, and then Oliver was smaller. An industrial 60. Row crop 70 here. These tractors are just so neat looking. I love the headlights out on front of them like that. Again, we've got the plow radiator cover. However, this is a repo. Guy made it, but still looks nice all the same. Pretty nice tractor there. There's another Oliver Hart Parr. That's a bigger tractor, and I'm not real good on my history of the Hart Parrs. I don't know a whole lot about them. When I grew up, 4 digits were kind of where my grandfather had, and so I know a lot more about the 4 digits than any of the others, but I'll tell you what little bit I know along the way. Another Hart Parr. Got a row crop 88 wide front end there. Pretty sharp tractor. I love the original ones in their work clothes. That's my thing. The shiny ones are awful nice, and I wouldn't mind to have some shiny ones, but I sure like the ones in their work clothes. 880 Oliver there, diesel. It does not have the power traction hitch on it, but another good original. Here's a Oliver, pretty big Wheatland standard style tractor. Row crop 70 with the cultivator on stills. Row crop 88. It's an earlier one. There's a little 60 with the 2-row planter on it, side dressing boxes. Nice little 60. There's a row crop 88, and that's obviously a pulling tractor, so not stock underneath that sheet metal. Here we've got a 70 gas. This will be a 950 diesel. Big old Oliver field tractor. Row crop 77, the big gas. Here's a 70 with a 2-row pipe cultivator on that. Another 1850. This one here will be gas. And then here we've got a, I believe that's probably an 880 would be my guess. Gas with the loader there. We'll flip around and go down this row. Got an Oliver OC6 here. Got several really pretty supers here. Got an old steamer behind me puffing there. They're getting it running. Don't know what that one is, but boy, neat old engines. But Super 66, 77 diesel, and these side plates on the diesel. Got one here. I believe this one is a dummy square. The one on the other side covers the injector pump, and they just made them mirror images there, so they put the square on both of them. But those side panels with that square panel for the diesel injector, those are hard side panels to find. Real nice Super 77. Another Super 77 here, diesel. Another 550, another gas one. And then we see the rear of a 2-row potato planter there. Got a row crop 88, a Super 77, Super 66, Super 55, and the Super 44. So got all of them, almost all the sisters right there. Standard 77 here. We'll walk around, find new row. Got a Super 88 gas with a Oliver 89 loader, I believe is the model number on that loader. Row crop 60 here. This one would be a 48 model, and you'll see it has the aluminum hood and side shields. That was the last year of the 60. Oliver was using all the steel for the wars, so some of the last years of the 60s, and I believe some of the 70s as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I know in the 60s they had those aluminum side shields and hood. Hard parts to find original. A 1600 row crop utility diesel. This happens to belong to our farm, one of our Olivers. The utility diesel, the 1600, was the first of the utility tractors. They made them in several different sizes, but the 1600 was the first, and it has a semi-normal row crop front end on it. However, the spindles here are shorter than the standard regular row crop tractors. All the other utilities of all the other 4 digits, they had the underslung front end with the short turning radius, short wheelbase. Besides the front end being shorter, all of the utilities came on 28-inch tires. Some of them had like 14.9s, some of them had 16.9s, but they all came on 28s. And then another little tidbit, the draft control on the 3-point where it hooks up on the bottom up there near the frame is upside down from the other 4-digit row crops, because the whole tractor just has a lower profile, so it sets a little bit lower. And then this row crop 60 here, again, this one belongs to our farm. My great-grandfather bought that tractor brand new in 1948, and this is the first tractor show I've ever brought tractors to, and it just so happens that that tractor there, this is the first time it has ever been more than 5 miles from the farm it was delivered brand new to. It did leave the family for a few years in pretty rough shape, and a local neighbor literally right across the creek bought it. He was an Alice guy, so this wasn't priority, but he did get it running, put some paint on it. A lot of farmer fixes on this. We call it the tractor of sadness, but me and my sister were very happy to get to buy this back, get it back in the family and where she belongs. So we're proud of her all the same. I believe that's probably a 70, could be a 80, no, it's an 88, and that's a pulling tractor, of course, so not a lot of stock there. Here's a normal row crop 660. It does have a little bit of repaint. It's not all original, but you can see at least one of the dealer stickers right there. I'm guessing that's not the original dealer sticker. Could be though, but no, it wouldn't be because it's got white on it. So probably not the original dealer sticker. 950 diesel. That's a really nice tractor there. Row crop 66, real shiny. Got Super 55 sitting here. Another Super 99. Boy, that one is immaculate. That sign there said at the time, the world's largest tractor. Don't know if that was true or not, but the sign said it, so we'll go with it. But boy, she is a shiny, beautiful piece of horsepower right there. Super 66. We'll get turned here and try to keep the sun out of your eyes as much as we can. Got an Oliver OC6 here. This is from Vandalia, 1953 model. A Cleatrack. Then a 1755 Cockshut. This will be a diesel. That's the Standard or the Wheatland, whichever you want to call them. I don't know what the official name of them was. I've heard them called both, but none of these tractors had 3-point. They just had PTO and hydraulics. The solid front end there. A lot of these tractors went to, well, the Cockshuts obviously went to Canada, but they were mostly in the flatlands for pulling big plows and tillage. So pretty nice. Looks like a Soffel original tractor, real sharp. We'll get into some of the bigger horsepower here, get into some shiny tractors. 2050 Oliver. This one has a 3-speed and it has the big Hercules engine in it. Fuel tank fenders. There is a, we better catch that one. Nice 2255 rolling by with a cat. So wave at us, there we go. So yeah, 2150 with fuel tank fenders. Again, that's got the Hercules as well. And we've got the 2150 front wheel assist, fuel tank fenders, canopy. Some really big rubber there. You could pull a few bottom plows with that. 1950T, that would be one of the Olivers, one of the earlier Olivers that had the turbo, I guess. So got the cab on it. Then we got a high crop 1650. This one just rolled in this morning, and it was actually just finished maybe a couple weeks ago, right before the show. They were rushing to get it finished and get it here. Looks like they did a really good job on it. Nice high crop. You don't see a lot of high crops, so when you do, it's pretty neat to see them. And that one's even a diesel. 1600 from the same farm, narrow front end. And then some of these guys here are parked backwards, but we'll get in here and look at them the best we can. We've got 77 on steel. That's probably an 80. No, it's another 77. There's probably another 950 perhaps. We've got a 770 high crop here, and it does have 3-point on it. There's some farmer fixes and things going on there. We won't hate on that because that sure is a rare tractor. 770 gas high crop. Here we have another 770. Got a Super 77 there, and I'm not 100%. I believe those brackets are probably for a mounted corn picker. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm wrong quite a bit, so I'll take it. But I bet those brackets are possibly for a corn picker, but I'm not sure. 770. And then we got two row crop 60s here. They're just absolutely beautiful. The one of them, I don't think it's probably been done very long because I walked by it day before yesterday and you could still smell that paint shining. So pretty fresh, beautiful little tractors. 550. Got a 1550 diesel there. Really nice restoration there. Real shiny paint. That's not original, but it's sure nice. Got 1950 here. Oh, we went through those, so that's the back side of where we were. So we need to flip around here and find us another row. Let's start off. We've got a Sheller, a 74S Sheller, and that would actually be the same thing that, well, that's one model newer, perhaps. There's an H. Okay, so I think this would be a Sheller, and that would just be a Husker, perhaps, with the H. I could be totally wrong about that. I don't know. But that two-row mounted corn picker's on a 770 diesel mounted there. We've got a 80 Standard from Marshall, Missouri. A beautiful 1655 that looks to be all original. You can still see the dealer stickers on it. I'm pretty sure, other than maybe the seat on that tractor, boy, she looks to be just a good, true survivor. I do like those original tractors in their work clothes. It's my favorite. We got a 770. This would have been one of the late 77s. It's got the flat top fenders on it. The 770 was the 3-digit that lasted the longest. It was a really popular tractor. It's basically about the same thing as a 1550 when the 4 digits came out, but that 77 was just so popular that it hung around for a long time. And this little tractor here, I don't know much about. I just did hear a story. I believe it came from Brazil, and it was a lot of the molds were made from Oliver parts, but it's not really anything true Oliver. It was just made like the Olivers. But supposedly there's only 2 of these maybe in the United States that were brought in. A CBT 1000 is what it is. But there's obviously, you can see the brakes there. There's obviously some parts that definitely resemble the Oliver for sure. Got another Oliver Heart Par here. And then got the Cockshut 30 sitting behind it. And then we've got like a half a row that's in between some rows. So we've got a lot of tractors on the ground, so we started having to squeeze some of them in here. But we'll get in here and show them to you the best we can. 1900 Oliver Wheatland again, the standard. That one says 1900. I bet that's got the Detroit in it, the GM Detroit. Yes, sir. Screaming Jimmy. Heart Par there. An industrial 70. There's a 990 GM diesel. A lot of horsepower for its day. Those were big plow tractors. GM, another Screaming Jimmy. Oliver OC3. And I'm guessing that could be another, boy, I don't know much about those. I'm not even going to guess on what that is. It could be the same thing as this OC6 here. I'm not real sure, so I'm not going to guess. Here's that 770 diesel that's mounted inside the Oliver picker. Then here we have a 99 propane model. This is the other 770 Orchard that belongs to Jerry. This is the one that's all original. We seen his restored one a little bit earlier in the video. We're going to get into a lot of tractors now that happen to be Jerry's. Lazy Acres from Bland, Missouri. And you'll see all of them's for sale, except for a lot of his orchards and his cleat track crawlers. None of them are for sale. He's keeping those, but he's willing to sell some of these Olivers if anybody wants them. Take them to a new loving home. 770 LP. Another 77 with flat top fenders. And then we have the 880 roller. It's a gas. And we'll get up here and switch to a new row. We've got a 770 diesel. Again, that's a standard. And those Wheatland models, no 3-point, just hydraulics and PTO on them. An 880 LP. Then we got this beautiful Cockshut. You don't see many of them with this paint scheme, but that would be the original paint scheme on them. And then of course it's got the dust doors or whatever you call them there. That sheet metal's pretty difficult to find anywhere. And then we're got a couple of high crops, a 1550 gas high crop with canopy. And then we've got the 1650 LP high crop. The 1650 will have the 2-speed on it. A lot of those high crops end up in the south as well. So you see a lot of high crops that were LP. 1850 cock shut, and again, he's got the little dust doors on them. They do have a step so you can climb on the back, or those doors will open, but you know, like a lot of things throughout the years, they got taken off, set in the side of the shed, then end up getting run over or rusted out or lost or who knows what. Beautiful 1950 two-wheel drive. Boy, I would love to have that one on my farm. I guess I could just write a check and take it home today if I wanted to. Be an awful big check though. Mama may not be happy. Here we've got a 2255. This one's kind of in its work clothes. We got that big roller coming by again, so kind of noisy. Got a 1900 GM diesel there. That's the president of our Family Olivers Association on that loud thing rolling behind us there. Got 1900, this tractor here, it's Jerry's as well. This is a repower with a Cummins in it. And he drives this thing around in the parades and stuff. He was pulling a tram all over yesterday. It's beautiful, beautiful restoration. Fuel tank fenders, canopy. Here's a 1955 front wheel assist, fuel tank fenders. This tractor has like 4 hours on the restoration. And I mean, you can see it speaks for itself. These things aren't just a paint job restoration. These things have been gone through, nuts and bolts all replaced. Everything that needs fixing, it's been fixed on 90% of these tractors. I mean, he does a great job. They all got really good rubber on them, and man, you just go price that rubber and you got a lot of dollars in a restoration, not counting all the other hours and nuts and bolts and gauges and wiring and trim and seats. And well, it takes a lot of money to make a tractor look like that and put that much time and love back into it. Got a 1950T here, front wheel assist. 2255 with the cab, duals. That's would be one of the later ones. It has the 1308 cat in it. Just a real sharp tractor there. And that one's had a little bit of work done to it, but it's a lot of that looks to be original paint on that tractor. Front end for sure, frame. You can still see the factory stickers on that. So our spear's been repainted, but it looks to me like a lot of this is still factory paint on that. We'll get up here to our feature building now. We've got a little enclosed building where they put some of the real rare tractors or some that just can't sit outside. Just kind of a little showcase for people that can't get all the way through the grounds. We'll start off with one. This is the first time I have ever seen this tractor. This is a 1865 Oliver White. This tractor is basically a 950 Moline. I don't know if there's really even an Oliver part anywhere on this tractor. It's basically a mini mow, but it was after Oliver White, Cockshut, and several of the other companies had all merged together, and they painted that one. That's a pretty rare tractor. We've got a Oliver 1365. This is front wheel drive. This is actually an Italian tractor. That's actually a Fiat. They were imported. You see the 12s and 13s and 14s. These little 13 Fiats, the 1365s, you can still get lots of parts for them. The 12s, I hear you should avoid them, but the 13s and 14s, still a lot of parts available. But you don't see many of them here. Then we've got a couple of street sweepers here. I believe that is just an 880 that's reversed mostly. This one came from Iowa. We'll allow Iowegians down here in Missouri. We don't mind them too bad, at least for a weekend or two. As long as they ain't from Kansas. Go Tigers. Another street sweeper there. Here we have a 1555. Boy, I was looking at this tractor. She's pretty original, pretty honest. Sure is sharp. Nice little tractor. Got a few cock shuts. We've got the Golden Arrow cock shut, the 40 cock shut, the 30 cock shut, and the 20 cock shut. And those are our true cock shuts. That would have been before Oliver and cock shut all merged. So those would be true cock shuts built in Canada. Got a big 2150 fuel tank fenders, diesel. Another one of Jerry's beautiful tractors, Canopy. And then this one's probably the one that everybody dreams about having. It does have the 1350 cat as opposed to later 3208 that was in that one we seen earlier with the cab. But I mean, man, when you draw a picture of a tractor as a kid, this is what you draw. Big horsepower, big monster tractor. That is a beautiful, beautiful tractor. I think this one, I don't even know if the hours have registered on the tack on this one. It's really, really low if they have. But it's got the planetary rear ends in it. Just have a moment of silence for good old American Oliver horsepower. Several of these big muscles do have the category 3 3-point with the external cylinders there. We'll start off here and go through the center of the building. Got a 660 Oliver. Boy, she's shiny and pretty, and that is be a beautiful little raking tractor, a beautiful parade tractor. I'm guessing she don't see much field time anymore, but boy, that would have been a nice little tractor for the smaller farmer. Super 44. A lot of these tractors ended up in tobacco country. They were made to compete with some of the smaller farmall cubs and stuff. Got the offset seat on it, so you know you could see down your rows when you were working the crops or whatever you were doing, cultivating or whatever. But not many of these tractors survived. That's the 44s, the 440s, Super 44s. They're most of them were used until there wasn't much left, so it's kind of hard to find many of those. Couple little small tractors there. 1550 high crop diesel. Shiny, beautiful metal green paint. 550 Oliver here. Another 125. And then we'll walk around here and make the final swing through the feature building. And then that'll wrap it up for us. Super 77, another pulling tractor, a row crop 77. Oh, this is I don't know if this was in the Delco restoration contest or not. I bet it would be by all of the documentation he has to go with it. I bet this was in the restoration contest, but this was an FFA project, local here in Missouri. 2023 State Fair champion. Good job, Kendall. Love it, buddy. Hope you see my video. Hope it make you famous. Don't wait for any commission checks. One Jerry's Heart Par Olivers. That'd be a little orchard there. And if you don't know, this would have all been on steel originally. He's put rubber on it so he can drive it around and not tear up his shops or the area where he's showing it or whatever. Just makes it a little easier to transport and drive around. Those old steel wheels were rough on stuff. Boy, that old Heart Par green on those was a pretty green. Not quite as pretty as a metal green, but pretty all the same. 2844 Heart Par. Another 550, another gas one, so I don't guess we've seen a 550 diesel on the grounds. They're kind of hard to come by. But a lot of little 550s here. They were made to compete with the 8N Ford, obviously. Probably biased, but the truth's the truth and facts facts. This one would have been a much nicer tractor than the 8N Ford. They were mostly used up again, just like the 44s, until there wasn't a whole lot left of them. They were bought to work on the little farms, and the little farmers would work them till there wasn't nothing left, just keep them running until they didn't run. Here we got an 1827 Hart Par row crop, all steel. She is for sale if you're looking. Single front wheel, 1930 model. Call August, 660-621-3007 from New Franklin, Missouri. There's another 1930 2850 Hart Par. Man, I love those tractors in their work clothes. You can see there, that was before Oliver was involved. That was just a straight Hart Par tractor. Got a few crawlers here. OC4 Oliver. This would be Jerry's, and if you got a quick eye and you're looking, that there's a flathead V8 Ford. Got a repower. A beautiful HG crawler. And then, you know, that rubber's been put on there again so he can drive it around, not tear things up with the tracks or wear the tracks down on pavement and gravel when he's just showing it or whatever. So, OC6 diesel. Those yellow ones would have been industrial ones, of course, probably. OC4 sitting by it. These are from Mr. Zimmerman in Versailles, Missouri. He's got a lot of these crawlers. OC4, OC3, HG clear track. Happens to be Mr. Zimmerman right there. Then we got the clay track sitting behind it, and that one would have obviously been for military use. Contracted with the military. Could have done a lot of work with that. Probably used for many, many different tasks. So we'll take a moment here and look at this reaper. This is a McCormick Deering. No, it's not an Oliver, but it's a pretty special piece of machinery made in the 1850s. This is believed to be the only one left still in existence. And so if you don't know what this thing was for, this basically was half of a combine before we had combines. So this would have went through with a sickle bar, cut the wheat, and then these arms that you see coming around here, they would rotate through, pull the wheat into the sickle, lay it down, and then put it in a row. And so as it turned around, these wooden arms that you see would drop down, sweep it, raise it up, let it go, and then it would put it in a row for the thrashing machines to come along and thrash the wheat. You know, a lot of wooden parts there, so you can see why a lot of these things didn't survive. Ought to be in a enclosed climate control museum somewhere. 1850s. This is owned by the Steam Engine Association here. Super 77 Orchard. And then that brings us back to the 1865 Mini Mow. So I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of the show. A lot of vendors here as well, and there's a lot of other brands of tractors sitting around each year. The association features a certain brand. Last year was Alice. This year's Oliver, and it also just happens to be that the HPCOA having their national summer show here with us. So we're glad to have them, and we sure are happy all of the exhibitors brought their tractors out again. I don't know, 165, 170 tractors here, something like that. Really good showing. I do see one that snuck in behind me. 3 or 4 more here, so we'll catch them. Don't want to leave anyone out. Got a Super 77 sitting here. Oh, I almost forgot about this. Doubt many people have seen one of these. We have a square baler. That is an Oliver. I do not know the model number. I see it's still got the plate on it, so we will check it out. But it comes with its own power. I'm guessing most likely this was probably potentially horse-drawn. Most likely horse-drawn. An Oliver Bellmaster. A lot different from the square balers we have now. You'll see, you know, there's some resemblance there, maybe to the roto baler by Alice, perhaps. You know, if you stretch a little bit, you can see a little bit of resemblance. But obviously, very early. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that plate there. Just in case somebody wants it, there she is. Got a little standard 60 hid way back here. Man, that needs to get over there in the center of the Olivers with his family. It's out here like an orphan. It's way too cute to be out here. And then the last three we got here, we got that big noisy thing. I wish I knew what this was. This is the one we seen running around. It's a Rumley. So I'm sure everybody's heard of a Rumley oil pull. That was the one that our president was driving around earlier, making all the noise when we were trying to make you a beautiful, informative video. Got an 850 Mini Mow here. I believe this is about the same thing as a 1755 Oliver with yellow paint. I believe the 850 was mostly just a 1755 Oliver. All the parts on it, basically the same thing, but they just gave it yellow and gave it a Mini Mow cone there on the front. Then we got a 1850 with a Hinker cab, gas. They were driving this one around earlier. So that wraps us up for the 2024 National Summer Heart Par Oliver and Cockshut Association Tour. Beautiful show. We've got some pulls that are coming up. Toughest Oliver pull will be tomorrow. All the guys can enter their Olivers only. Hook them to a sled. We've got dyno here. Lots and lots of club chapters here in the Alice building. They let us use our building. Sherry Schaefer. Everybody that knows much about Oliver will have at least heard that name. She's going to speak at our banquet tomorrow night. So we're glad to have her here. Glad they brought the XO 121 from Charles City, the Floyd County Museum. So great turnout. And again, we're thankful for each and every exhibitor that come out to be part of our show. Glad for all the spectators that come out and tell some lies and some stories and maybe relive a few memories from the past. Have a great day and hope everyone gets a chance to come enjoy the show.